Hi, welcome to another episode of the Tech Videos. Today we have a very interesting topic where we have a lot of questions. It's infotainment. Infotainment is something that you see every day in your vehicle, so there's a lot of interest how it's going. And I'm very happy that we have an expert here today, whom some of you have maybe seen, Mitchell. Great to see you, Mitchell. How are you?
Nice to be back.
Yeah, so my first question to you, what do you do at Sono?
I am in charge of infotainment development. So we develop the audio system, the VCM, the vehicle connectivity module, and also the eCall module. We're in charge of speakers, microphones, antennas, off-board communication, anything that comes into the car. So yeah, we have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, you have a lot of things on your plate. So
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your background. How long are you in the industry?
Well, I've been in the industry for over 30 years. I worked a number of years at Toyota Research and Development in Los Angeles, and then I went over to Hyundai Kia Research and Development, where I worked there for about 16 years, and I was in charge of sound quality tuning for all cars for North America.
Yeah, so sound is always important. Many people felt with you when we talked about audio system and we need more speakers or less speakers. So can you tell me a little bit, where are we now in the process?
Right now in the process, we kept all the speakers, so we're at 6 speakers, so that's good. We're in the first stages of development in the vehicle now. Here we have what's known as the yellow board, so we could test all the parts to make sure that everything is working, that everything is connecting. And now we're transitioning to the car, because now we're building the SVC3 vehicles. So after that, we'll do some competitor evaluation. We'll find out what is the market for sound quality, and then from there we'll start doing testing and tuning.
Yeah, if you need freelance testers from the community, I'm sure there are plenty of people who might volunteer in listening.
Yeah, we need just, towards the end, we'll bring in just the average listener, but before that we'll have trained listeners, so they can say, you know what, I think that we need a little bit more high frequency here, a little more low frequency here. We can change the timing. We can shape the sound to make you feel a certain way, and that's what we have the trained listeners for. And then we'll bring in the public, and the public will start to listen and say, hey, this sounds good.
Yeah, we're curious about that. So from your experience, can you tell me a little bit about what happened in the last years in infotainment? Because this looks completely different than vehicles 15 years ago.
Well, 15 years ago, we still had CDs in the car. People will still have those CDs and their sun visors and a CD holder, and we were transitioning to USB, and then we went from USB to wireless, and now we're in the Apple CarPlay Android Auto. So your audio system that you have today, it won't be the same 5 years from now, because there'll be updates. That's the biggest deal, is over-the-air updates. It can make your system grow and make it better and make it more enjoyable. Because we know through research, we have 15 seconds.
Okay.
First 15 seconds you listen to the audio system, you determine for the rest of the life of that car if you like it or hate it. So we have to make sure that everything is perfect at first, then we can make changes to over-the-air update to make it better.
Okay. Yeah, sounds challenging.
Yeah.
The question is, there's a lot of digital now in the vehicle. You mentioned USB sticks and Spotify and everything, but is there also a normal radio in the car, or is that gone?
This is our FM DAB antenna, which is located in the rear spoiler, hidden away from everything. We have normal FM in the car.
Yeah, that's important for many people, that it still works even if you don't have all these digital gadgets. Can you show me a little bit more in the car about that?
Yes, we can go over to the car and I can show you where everything is and what it looks like.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
So, what do we have here?
We have the 2 infotainment screens. We have the instrument cluster on the left. It's a 10.2-inch screen. This is a 10.1-inch screen. They look larger because they're so close and they're really high up. They're right in your view. We also have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. We have HVAC functions. All your audio functions are here. Navigation will be here, and also with some turn-by-turn in this area. We can see the status of the vehicle, speed, parking, those things, door open. We also have in this whole setup where you can see we have the tweeters on top of the dash, door speakers, microphones in the overhead console, e-call button here. We have under the dash, we have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, LTE antennas that are embedded underneath the dash. And then in the rear spoiler, that's where we have the FM DAB antenna in the car. And we also have steering wheel controls.
Yeah, that is an important question from the community. Do we have buttons on the steering wheel?
We have volume control, we have voice recognition button, which is a requirement for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We have to have some way to access voice recognition for navigation or for phone calls or to even answer phone calls.
And there's one question I have to ask because many viewers will ask, this is a light color here. In the other vehicles we've seen dark colors. Why is that?
Because this is an early prototype vehicle, so none of the materials have the actual graining or the actual color match. This material is put in the car just for fit and finish. Then the next stage we go to maybe graining, and then after that we go to color match. So it's always starts off as gross tuning, and it gets more refined as you go along.
Okay, yeah, it's nice. One more question. You talked about the tweeters. Can we listen to the sound already?
No, we're not ready for the sound yet. You know, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So we're gonna wait a couple of stages so we can bring in the public, but we have to do some gross tuning, like I said before, and then make it smaller, more refined. So when you listen, you will go, "Oh, that is so good." First time.
Yeah, okay. We have just 2 cameras. We wouldn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for all this information. Thanks for the good work. It was a pleasure, like always, meeting you.
Thank
you.
you.
See you next time.
Okay.
So, thank you for watching. That was today's tech video. And I hope you liked it. We have several questions answered. If you have more questions, you can put them in the comments below and we will try to pick them up for the next videos. And the next video coming up is with Johannes. He's an expert on communication and also infotainment. So stay tuned. See you next week.